So this is my final project for our graphic design class, and when I got the assignment to think about the groups I was related to, I started thinking very basically, white, female, and I actually got stuck on the idea of left-handed, and I was gonna do kind of a very lighthearted left-handed people unite kind of just a silly little design. And so I made the hand graphic, and I made it to resemble Shepard's Ferry, um, his like power stance of the fist. So that's how I made the hand, and I wanted it to just be a symbol of power. So I made the hand, and as I was working on this project, one of my coworkers actually came forward to me just as we were talking about a story of how she was raped at 14 years old and just how that affected her and how it just kept coming back into her life in other parts and she didn't realize it because she was traumatized. So, one of her stories was that she was play wrestling with a cousin or a family member, and he grabbed both of her hands and held them down with one hand, and that caused her to panic because it triggered her to go back to the trauma she experienced. And that just kept coming into my mind whenever I kept working on this project and seeing the arm and the hand that I was working on. So I changed my perspective because I realized I could do this project about something that means more to me, which is women's rights and people's right to say no and mean it. So I changed my project to be about more about sexual abuse and people's rights to their own body. So this image here, it stemmed off of the little lighthearted thing, but I wanted to choose a message that people are already kind of familiar with, but also put it into a new imagery with the arms. And I chose to put them in an X because again, it kind of reflected her experience, but it also has an X, which also doubles as a no. So I chose also in this to reflect the style of Aaron Draplin, who I mentioned in our last section as someone who really inspires me, and I really look up to his design. So I tried to replicate and kind of play with how he works with lines in my project and also find a font that mirrors that. And then the blue background, I wanted something that complemented the skin tones that I used, as well as like not like a bright red or something to really just kick the viewer in the face. I wanted it to be a calm message that also has impact. So that's where this project came from.